Can you imagine the United Kingdom giving up its permanent seat on the UN Security Council to India? That's exactly what the former UNSC chief has suggested. This bombshell statement came from none other than Kishore Mahbubani, the former chief of the United Nations Security Council. Mahbubani, whose diplomatic acumen is well respected across the globe, has advocated for a seismic shift in the UN Security Council's composition. He believes that India, identified as the third most powerful country in the world, should replace the United Kingdom as a permanent member of the Council. Quite a proposition, isn't it? His argument hinges on a few critical points. Firstly, he emphasizes that the United Kingdom has not exercised its veto power in decades, suggesting that it may not be fully utilizing its position on the Council. Mahbubani posits that this seat could be better filled by India, a country with a growing global influence and the fifth largest economy worldwide. The former UNSC chief is not just advocating for a simple switch of seats. His statement is a clarion call for a larger reform, one that would revamp the United Nations to better reflect the current global power dynamics. He underscores the need for the organization to adapt to the changing times and ensure that the great powers of today have a say in its workings. Mahbubani's bold proposition also comes at a time when India has already served 8 terms as a non-permanent member on the UNSC. The country has proven its commitment to the organization and its principles, a factor that certainly strengthens Mahbubani's argument for India's inclusion as a permanent member. This isn't just about India and the United Kingdom, it's about the United Nations, an organization tasked with maintaining international peace and security. It's about ensuring that the Council's structure and membership accurately reflect the realities of our world today. But that's not all. Mahbubani's statement goes beyond just suggesting a switch of seats. This is the first ripple in what could become a wave of change within the United Nations. Stay tuned for the next scene where we delve deeper into Mahbubani's call for a broader reform within the organization. Mahbubani didn't stop at proposing a change of seats. He is calling for an urgent overhaul of the United Nations Security Council itself. Mahbubani's words aren't merely a shakeup for the United Kingdom and India. They are a clarion call for the entire United Nations Security Council, a call for urgent and deep-seated reform. His assertion is clear. The UNSC as it stands is not reflective of the current global power dynamics, and this, he warns, could lead to the Council's downfall. This isn't simply about who gets a chair and who doesn't. This is about the global balance of power and how it is represented on the world's most influential international body. The Council, in its current state, is a relic of a bygone era. It's like a snapshot taken in the aftermath of World War II, frozen in time while the world outside has moved on. Mahbubani emphasizes that the great powers of today need to be at the table. Their voices need to be heard. Their interests need to be represented, and their resources need to be integrated into the UN's framework. This isn't just about maintaining relevance, it's about survival. Without the involvement of these powerhouses, the UN risks becoming an obsolete and ineffective organization, unable to fulfill its foundational mandate of maintaining international peace and security. The need for reform extends to the very structure of the Council. The membership needs an update. It needs to reflect the world as it is, not as it was. The Council needs to be adaptable, flexible, and ready to accommodate the ever-changing geopolitical landscape. It needs to be a body that is truly representative of the global community, one that can effectively respond to crises and conflicts, and one that commands respect and authority on the world stage. So, what does this mean for India? And how has the world reacted to this bold proposition? Mahbubani's statement has sent shockwaves around the globe, but what does it mean for India and the rest of the world? Let's start with India. Should this change occur, it would be a seismic shift in international politics. India, already the world's third most powerful nation, would have a seat at the top table, wielding veto power and influencing global decisions. It could also mean a greater voice for the global south, often underrepresented in international forums. But the reactions from various nations have been mixed. The G4 nations, Brazil, Germany, Japan, and India, who support each other's bids for permanent membership, have welcomed the suggestion. They see it as an opportunity to balance power dynamics and make the Council more representative of today's world. Yet the UK and other permanent members of the UNSC have been less enthusiastic. The UK in particular has been silent, perhaps contemplating the implications of relinquishing a privilege held since the formation of the UN. Other permanent members like the US, Russia, and China, while not openly opposed, have expressed concerns about the potential disruption of established norms. The proposal has also stirred up a hornet's nest among non-permanent member nations. Some see it as a chance for reform, others fear it could create a new hierarchy within the UN. Mahbubani's statement, regardless of its immediate outcome, has certainly sparked a global debate. It's a debate about fairness, about representation, and about the very nature of international power. As the world grapples with this groundbreaking proposition, one thing is clear: the conversation around UN reform has been ignited, and it's not going away anytime soon. As we move forward in this ever-evolving global landscape, the potential repercussions of such a reform are far-reaching and multifaceted. For India, this could mean an unprecedented level of influence on international politics, but it also comes with the responsibility of balancing national interests with global concerns. For the existing permanent members, it means sharing their power and adjusting to a new world order. But beyond these immediate players, the implications are even broader. If India were to become a permanent member, this could set a precedent for other emerging powers who also seek a greater voice. Countries like Brazil, Germany, and Japan may feel emboldened to push harder for their own permanent seats. Meanwhile, smaller nations might fear being further marginalized in a council dominated by larger powers. The road ahead is uncertain, and the debate is far from over. The global community will need to grapple with these complex issues as they consider the future of the United Nations Security Council. While we can't predict exactly how this will unfold, we can be sure that the world is watching closely, waiting to see how this potential shift in power will shape the face of global politics. So stay tuned as we continue to cover this developing story. Now, before we conclude, we'd like to extend a warm thank you for watching our video on the potential UNSC seat shuffle. If you found this informative and want to stay updated on the latest in global politics, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, stay curious, keep questioning, and be part of the conversation shaping our world.